So welcome everybody to our Lichfield and Tamworth in Focus series of interviews with a lot of our long-standing members. Today, as you can see from the background, we're in rather grand surroundings at Swinfen Hall Hotel with Helen Wiser. Helen, how are you? You okay?
I'm very good, Chris. Thanks very much. Good to talk to you.
Wonderful, wonderful. And obviously, Helen is managing director, is it, or owner, or head boss of Swinfen Hall Hotel?
Yeah, bottle washer, all those things.
and obviously based along on the A38 in Lichfield / Tamworth, a great place to host meetings and events and weddings and many things over the years, and catching up with Helen today just to get a bit of an idea of how they as a business in Lichfield and Tamworth have coped through this crisis and are looking forward hopefully to things coming out the other side as we move through into 2021 and towards Christmas as well. So Helen, just tell me a little bit about how things have changed, how you've coped with the crisis. We're 6 months into following lockdown, but just give us a bit of an indication of what's been happening with Swinfen Hall.
Well, we, like many other businesses, had to close towards the end of March. We reopened at the beginning of August. We're really grateful to the government staff retention scheme and the business rate relief. Without that, I think it would have been just impossible. I think if you want to be optimistic and look for a silver lining, we've had the luxury of 3 to 4 months of in-depth analysis of where our business is going. And I think rarely in business do you have time to do much more than the day-to-day business. Yeah. So I think this has been brilliant for businesses to be able to maybe reprioritize where they're going, to think, are they going in the right direction, to be able to plan to make changes. So I think it's given us opportunities. Yeah. We've had most of our staff furloughed. We've still had a few guys keeping the grounds in shape and manning the office, but it's really great now to be bringing people back into the board.
And you brought people back, and I know there was a news story sort of led in our chamber pages and across your channels around that sort of socially distant conferences. We were joking just before the start that there's certainly enough space in some of your rooms for socially distant meetings. So just tell us a bit about that and perhaps how your team have helped bring that together.
Well, we are extremely lucky, as you say here. We've got very high ceilings, wide corridors, big spacious rooms. So although obviously we've still had to change furniture around in the restaurant and the lounges, but our big ballroom, which normally could seat 160 theatre style, we can do meetings of 12 people, 10 people, we can do meetings of 20 people. So we've been able to offer socially distanced meetings. We have a private dining room, and as long as we're complying with we're being creative with the table arrangements, we hope we can help businesses. We did put an offer out for free exclusive use for small residential conferences. And I think the interesting thing is that obviously a lot of us have got used to Zoom meetings now. Why would you want a conference anymore? But we're finding, talking to businesses, that a lot of them say we'll continue with Zoom meetings, but what we need to do is once a month or so, we need to have an away day, we need a team building day, we need to get back bonding together again. Yeah. So I think there's still a place out there for real meetings as opposed to just virtual meetings as well.
Absolutely, and I think, as you say, it's that support of the local business community. But the meeting face to face over a good cup of coffee or something stronger is certainly at the right time is the right thing to do. Hopefully, and that'll go through. So you'd obviously mentioned the support of the business, the government sort of funding and that support. Again, just tell us a bit about the work, the support that you've had from various business organisations or from the council or from your contacts.
Well, I think actually it's brought businesses together in a really great way to help each other. I think the local district, the Lichfield District Tourist Authority, the tourist organisations have been brilliant, sending out lots of information, pointers in the right direction. People such as yourself, Chambers of Commerce, Federation of Small Business, UK Hospitality, all these organisations have been having webinars, newsletters, all sorts of helplines, and that's been tremendous. But I think it's also been business to business. You know, we phoned up other businesses, business had rung us. You know, I think people are supporting each other to make sure that our area, Lichfield and Tamworth, is well supported and is at the forefront as we go forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the key moving through the next few months as well, isn't it? So where do you see the business, and tell us about some of the offerings that you have now, perhaps if they are different or if they're going to become different in the next few months. Just tell us a bit about the operations of the office you have now.
Well, obviously, we haven't got the big functions anymore, be they corporate or be weddings. We're still doing small weddings for 30 people, which are brilliant in the ballroom. We can do 30 people in there, and it can still be intimate and very lovely. We're doing, besides the free exclusivity for residential conferences, we're launching on Tuesday to Thursday in the restaurant to encourage midweek, what we call a 4 for 40 tasting menu. So for £40, you come and have a 4-course tasting menu to try and drive people out midweek.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we're concentrating quite a lot on the leisure market and the restaurant business. And there are a lot of people out there doing their 2-3 night staycations. Obviously, a lot of people who might have gone away for weekends or abroad or gone on holiday abroad are now looking around in the area. And Staffordshire is just a brilliant county. It's got beautiful walks, it's got historic buildings, it's got plenty to see. So it's trying to encourage people into Staffordshire as well.
Yeah, you mentioned that actually. I was on a webinar a couple of weeks back about the Staffordshire as a place and how it can attract tourists. And you've obviously got Lichfield and the castle in Tamworth, and obviously the cathedral and lots of Cannock Chase and lots of areas. So yeah, it's good, and that's really quite encouraging. Yeah, that it's almost giving you a focus to look on your doorstep, almost even more so than as you would perhaps normally.
I think absolutely, and the National Memorial Arboretum down the road at Orawaz, which is a big draw we find in people coming to stay. Obviously, you've got the potteries, you've got Arthur Price, the factory shop. There's plenty of good things that people can get out there and enjoy.
Yeah, and it's good to hear that. I know the work with you'd mentioned about the tourism associations and various other groups in Lichfield were active long before the pandemic, and I'm sure will continue to be so after that. I think that's the key, isn't it?
I think Lichfield District Council got onto it very quickly. They set up a place board meeting. They have been concentrating on the idea of safe in Lichfield, encouraging businesses to get on the good to go, all the various shop safe schemes, so that we do present ourselves as businesses. I think what the public want to know is that they are safe. And so that I think all businesses, whatever you're in, as long as you have got protocols in place and you're working hard to protect both your staff and the public, we will get people back.
Yeah, absolutely. And sort of talking about Lichfield, we mentioned there about the tourism side. Obviously, in your other hat is the Lichfield Festival, and I know us as a chamber were involved last year. I know it's been a decades long involvement, for many people. I think it's
40 years.
40 years, that's it. I was going to say 39. There we go. And obviously, the festival calendar in Lichfield really sadly has been decimated naturally by the COVID crisis. But you did some work online regardless around that. And obviously, you're obviously hoping that 2021 it will be back as strong as ever.
Absolutely. And again, the festival has survived, unlike many other performing arts festivals and societies which are in trouble due to, again, the small business grant that we got. We got a small grant from the Arts Council, which allowed us to have online events. We were streaming concerts through May and June, because what we're really keen is to keep our supporters engaged. I think, people will want to break free next year. They'll want to come out and see live art. So it's really important to keep that going. And the team have been brilliant in putting things together. You're quite right. We lost the Literature Festival. That was going to be the last weekend in March, which obviously went for Burton. And then we could just do a small virtual festival online. But we're transferring everything to next year. And you were right, not me. 40th is next year, 2021. So you're quite right in saying it's 39. And next year should have been our 40th anniversary. But what we're going to do is we're going to do our 39th festival next year, having missed one. And then we'll celebrate the 40th anniversary in 2022, which will be a really big bonanza. And we hope we'll get plenty of businesses involved in that. Because it brings people into Lichfield. It's 10 days of fantastic live music, performing arts. And boy, oh boy, will we want to be entertained next year, won't we?
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, isn't it? Yeah, there's the itch for gig goers and concert attendees and theatre goers is getting stronger by the day, isn't it? I can certainly vouch for that. So, Helen, no, that's wonderful.
Could I also just say, if there are businesses out there that like to be involved in the festival, obviously finance is wonderful so that they can sponsor an event, but there's plenty of other ways you can help. You can help in kind. If you've got IT skills, if you've got marketing skills, maybe you make banners, maybe you make signs. There's lots of ways that you could perhaps help us in sign and become a sponsor through that way, or advertise with us, or just lend us some personnel. But it's also gives, something back to the community that we serve as businesses. We're giving something back as well, which I think is really important.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. No, that's good words, and absolutely a call out there to other members for and other businesses to get involved. So, Helen, just a final sort of question, I suppose. Your advice, as a long-standing business owner, person, figure in Lichfield and Tamworth and further afield. What after all these difficult times and decisions and work you've put in, what's your one piece of advice to businesses in a similar industry to yours?
I think keep optimistic, look for opportunities, don't go back on what you used to do, but look for new opportunities going forward. Look after your staff and your regulars, don't let them fall by the wayside. And be innovative, that's the thing, and keep fluid. There's no point in having a policy when the goalposts are being moved every 5 minutes. Absolutely
right. Good words, great stuff. Helen, thanks so much. It's an absolute pleasure. I know it's been a real, my first sort of event as head of the Chamber back in October 2018 was at Swinfen Hall, and I've been quite a few times since, and it's good to see that you're back open and fighting fit, as they say, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon, no doubt. And thank you, Helen, absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. That was a pleasure to talk to you, Chris, and I look forward to seeing lots of people coming back here. That's what we're waiting for. Could I just mention, like many other businesses, it is pre-booked business at the moment rather than drop-in.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Thanks, Helen. Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.